the right thing. And Janet, your thoughts?
Yes, speaking from my cultural background, I think for the most part, a lot of Asian people are raised differently than the American people. In that culture, we rarely speak up or argue with people around us or even our family. So when we see things happening to us, I'm not sure if the person's really attacking me because my look, my race, or it's simply because the facts. So in many incidents, I don't want to think that people are discriminating me, but I think in a lot of instances, it is because my race.
And when we talk about people speaking up, only a fraction, we've all referenced some of the national things we've seen, the horrific acts that we've seen. That's a fraction of what's actually happening. Not everyone calls 911. As you were mentioning, not everyone reports that incident, or not everything is captured on video. And so, and we see this in other communities too, but if I could get your input on why do we have some people perhaps fear, what would be the reason? What's the mindset that makes them not report?
I think main reason because if you're the first generation new immigrants, you have language barrier, first of all. You're not really capable of expressing yourself or stating the facts and make sure that you have a fair judgment. So a lot of people just let it go and think, I don't want to make any trouble. I don't want people to think that I'm a troublemaker. I'm trying to cause anyway. They're just like, it's okay. I'll just swallow it. So I think most people just don't want to raise any attention.
Echoing Janet's sentiment about East Asian cultures particularly, I mean, myself as well, I happen to be Lao American, but again, there is a sort of the Chinese saying as well of don't go out looking for trouble. The Japanese equivalent of nails that don't stick out don't get hammered. Basically the same situation for us as well. But especially my parents, they would rather suffer in silence than burden loved ones by asking for help. And so they would, in addition to the language barrier that Janet mentioned, culturally, burdening others is a taboo in our culture, as well as many other Southeast Asian cultures. So even again, at your own peril, because whether it's a mental illness issue that you might be having, but you don't want to burden someone with talking to them, or you're having financial issues, but you don't want to ask for government aid. You were just attacked or robbed, or robbery by sudden snatching, but you don't want to contact law enforcement because perhaps it was your fault. You should have done something to avoid it. They don't want to be burdensome to other people, and again, it's at their own detriment.
And that's where our community can come in to help our neighbors. That's why we're doing this. We can all work together. We all have a role to play. Coming up next, we're going to talk about solutions, and that's something that every